how are these people not being arrested? How's it still going on? I just don't get it.
They're too big to fail. Maybe they worked at a bank. Maybe they were CEO of a bank or a fucking Wall Street company. You know, we can't prosecute those people. We don't prosecute any of those guys. You know, at a certain point, if you 11, you're going down. You're going to jail. But if you steal $300 million, you know, we're going to be in litigation forever. And nothing's going to happen. So nothing's going to happen to those priests. They'll move them on to somewhere else. You know.
Yep.
Or they got cut off on why these people aren't prosecuted.
Okay, I don't have an answer for it. It blows my mind. It happens over and over again. You hear about the new one in what was it, in Pennsylvania, where they got 20 priests. They had a fucking team.
Well, I go back to what my guess as a scientist would be is these are all organizations and clubs with costumes and rules and ancient books, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So in what I've reviewed and studied with everybody, you can start with the Catholic canon and follow their writings and the different saints all the way down. You can do the Talmud, the Quran, the Bible, Old and New Testament, the Book of Mormon, all the other writings of Joseph Smith and you know, the other writings of Muhammad and all that stuff. Read through it all. There's nothing about the protection and treatment of children in any of their salvation talk. It doesn't have, like, to say, like, oh, and by the way, if you're a Presbyterian, right, or if you're a whatever, part of our thing is your children must be revered and respected and brought up in health and strength and love. None of them say that. It's honor your parents. It's do what you're told. There isn't any of the religions that say children are off limits. None of them say that. So, you know, the priest is the most important thing. So if the priest rapes your child, well, you read through your books. Is raping a child going to keep you out of heaven? No. No. But not giving money to the priest will, because there's shit about tithing in the Bible. Right? To not give up the money is breaking one of the rules of heaven. To not believe what the priest is telling you and not have faith is breaking one of the rules of getting to heaven. But your child getting butt-fucked is not breaking one of the rules of you getting to heaven as a parent. So,
well, if you got 10 kids, it's just tithing.
Exactly. Hey, and if they're only taking one hole, it's a bargain.
And a lot of those people had 10 kids. I mean, so come on. They didn't molest all of them.
No, I mean, come on. I mean, you know, you got to play the numbers. I don't know what everyone's problem is here. You know, like that family, that show on one of the channels. I hate when they either on Discovery or Learning Channel, and it's a show about a human woman turning out litters, like this 18 or 19 and counting. What's that show about? How many kids she can have? Or is it an experiment on the number of kids versus the number that will get molested? Because if you got 19 kids, right, boys and girls sleeping together, and they're all like that. Let me see. Out of 19 kids, 5 of those girls have fingers in them every night.
Oh.
And that's the experiment. That's fun. Let's run the numbers. Hey, what's going to happen when you put 25 kids together, unsupervised, maybe 7, 8 to a room?
Yeah.
Yeehaw!
Freak show.
It's so awful. It's so, like, weird. It so doesn't care about the kids at all.
It's more like a stripper's learning camp, you know, than anything.
Yes. It is. It's
just name them Jasmine to begin with, and, you know, over with.
Jasmine.
Some time.
I mean, it's just not a good idea to the stuff we do with the way we think of kids. And again, they're religious people. In fact, the family that show is about, he's like a preacher dude with, like, he's got like half his own church and he's the number one guy and whatever. And so he's an example to a bunch of other fucking idiots to have their women on this canine cycle of reproduction, because God and used the word seed in the Bible and used the word multiply in the Bible. So that means stretch your bitch out until she can take no more. It's so, but yet they're rosy-cheeked, you know, they're wearing thrift store clothes. It's okay, everybody. We're not impacting the environment. And so if kids, these are religious people, these are people with Bibles on their shelves, if this is how they feel about children and the process of bringing them up, what do they care about them being molested?
Well, they've given their power over to this priest, this guy that's supposed to be the representative of Jesus and all on the planet, and they just give him blind obedience without any regard to why would a grown man want to go along with this fairy tale, except that he gets access to a bunch of little kids that are even dumber than their parents. You know, you can fucking tell them anything. Their parents already bought a load of horse shit, so you know the kids are going to fucking go along with it. They got no choice. What are you going to do? Go home and tell them that the representative of God has got his finger in my fucking hole, dude, you know?
And, you know, a good book about this, actually, Christopher Hitchens' memoirs, Hitch 22, he covers a lot about this this private British boarding school he went to, and about how the gayness was rampant, not just among the boys, because there's no girls around, but shenanigans with the teachers and the priests and the professors, and how everybody knew which professors preferred which boys, and the cuter, skinnier, more feminine boys got different attention. And also, what Hitchens says, which I think is the case for many boys, is that when certain things happened at a certain level where you could have turned this guy in and started a brouhaha, he said he didn't, because he could handle the attention and the kind of the perversion, and would not want to pull his parents into some awful, court appearances and the language of molestation and all that.
You'd have to move, so, you know.
Yeah. A lot of kids take it to protect the sort of the innocence of the parents, oddly enough.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I was the one on Oprah where the two boys, they were twin boys, and they were talking about how the priest would tell their parents that they had some candle duty to do, and when they got there, Hennigan, they said that it'd be 4 or 5 priests in the room, and they would tape the boys down to the ground with duct tape and rape them.
Damn.
You know, if you told that story in America, somebody out there is thinking what a great commercial that would make for duct tape.
Oh man!
Struggle all you want. It'll stick for days. You know, the Billy Mays guy. You can
clench up.
You can punch it. You can bite it. You can tear it. It's anywhere. If you hear any ripping, it's not the tape.
Oh God!
Oh man! The tape in the. We're here at the rectory of St. Michael's in the Bronx. We've got 4 of our strongest frees here to take on the duct tape challenge. Kamal and Jamal, 2 beautiful twins.
Oh God, you sick bastard!
Oh my God!
Oh God!
You just think about that. All we're doing is
talking about it like that. Honestly, I think if you were to hook up people to chemical analyzers and blood work, right? Just hook them all up to electrical signals in their brain and everything. Tell them the story and show them pictures of the actual priests that did it, and take the readings, the reaction of these people, and then do what we just did. Satirize it, be ironic, just fucking get gross. It's such an awful situation. I think that affects people more. Hey, don't talk like that. How dare you guys? I go,
right. Are you kidding? The reality of it is...
Yeah, right. A motherfucker did that shit.
Yeah. No, it's like your needle didn't even jump halfway up when you showed the face of the actual molester, And yet, when I said rip, you went into the red zone. And that's what's wrong with people. That is what's wrong with people.
It really is. It really is. You're absolutely right. When you said rip, you're right. Because I was thinking, damn, rip. But
what do you think is happening when you talk about a 10-year-old getting ravaged by grown, erect penises? Is there ripping or not ripping? Like, that's where we want to live. We want to live in this, like, oh, boy, I've heard those stories. It sounds like some pudgy, flaccid priest rubbed his gown against a boy's jeans. Don't you know what's happening in these rooms? Like, what's happened to us?